Hi, Ray Hayden here, and this video is going to be an introduction to the alternative methods to qualify to sit for the California bar exam. Of course, we're all familiar now with internationally well-known Kim Kardashian, and her choice of studying law in California is law office study, which is absolutely legitimate, and it's one of 4 different ways, 2 of which are closely related. There's law office and judge study, and then there's different types of school programs. Okay, so we'll talk about those in this video. So the news stories are going to come out and give you a little bit snippets of information, and it's like, well, I really would like to know more, but you only gave us 60 seconds of a news story on it. So let's go into that a little bit more here. So if you have an interest in what she's doing and what I did, right, to get the job done, saving tons of money, by the way, in the process, let's look at this. So we go to the State Bar of California, click on admissions, and then we want to look for the requirements, for admissions requirements, and then we're going to look for educational things that we need to have before we can even start, right? So if we go into the pre-legal education part, we can click here, we can click on pre-legal education, or we can click on find out more. It's going to take us to the same page, right? Pre-legal education and college equivalency education to get the job done. They're talking about CLEP tests and things like that there. Let's go down here and slide down this page. They're going to give us a nice big hint right here, 2 years of college. So if you're wondering, hey, do I need a bachelor's degree to become an attorney? The answer is no, okay? But do you need some education? Yeah, you need some, and or you do CLEP tests and everything else, or you can go to local community college or state college or whatever, the local lower level college that gives the first 2 years. Get that 2 years of college done at an affordable rate, then you can use these really affordable ways of getting your law study done, all right? It's not how much you paid for your education, it's how much you get out of it, right? So let's go ahead and check that out. This says, by the way, down here, it'll say, look at Rule 425A. I just happen to have that open, so let's see what they're talking about. They are talking about before you can begin your study of law, you need at least 2 years of college work or demonstrated equivalent, right? Which must be certified. So you can do all that, and you can do the easy way. Just go get an Associate of Arts degree. That's going to qualify to get the job done. 2 years of college, all right? So there you go. So now that we've seen that, let's go back to requirements in education, and let's go look at the legal education that we want, right? So there's different ways of acquiring the legal education that you need. One of them is at a fixed facility, right? This is basically a brick and mortar institution. You can go there, sit in class, just like an ABA accredited law school, but it might be registered by the California bar, which might qualify you so that you don't have to sit for the first year law students examination. So if it's kind of like accredited by the California bar, right, then you can do that. Like here they're saying American Bar Association, or they can say accredited by the state of bar, California's Committee of Bar Examiners, right? So if the bar accredits, it's not ABA approved, but it's accredited by the State Bar of California, a brick and mortar institution, you got to go sit in class just like the ABA school. Hopefully it'll cost you a whole lot less money. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it might be closer to you. Like maybe the closest law school to you is not an ABA accredited law school, but accredited by the State Bar of California. Of course, this is going to be physically in the state of California, right, in order to do that. And you can go to law schools that are unaccredited but registered. Now, these programs are ones that have different, well, let's take a look at them. That correspondence and distance learning. Now, I got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree from open and distance education, so open and distance learning. So I'm very, very keen on taking advantage of this whenever I could. And in fact, it blew my mind when I found out that you couldn't, really go to an ABA school online. I mean, it's like, what? Law has to be the, most perfect field of study for online learning. But yet, no, you got to go sit in a class. Okay, great. So this is why I chose the California option myself, because I am real big on distance learning and correspondence or distance learning. Consider them the same. My school was registered as a correspondence school, but in all honesty, it was just like I was going to Florida State or Amberton University in Texas. That I did both of those online, and to me, I really didn't see any difference. It was like kind of the same thing. Discussion boards, submitting assignments, doing readings, doing research, stuff like that. Pretty much the same deal. Then, so you got fixed-based facilities, you got correspondence and distance learning, basically the same idea, and then you have judge or law office study. And the law office one is what Kim Kardashian's doing, and the judge one, I would have to say, it'd be a harder nut to crack, because you have to have a judge agree to take you on to be your mentor. He or she is going to be your mentor, and they're going to hang with you for 4 years till you get your studying done, and then you can qualify to sit for the California bar exam. So that's going to be a unique deal. I would think that that's going to be really hard. The Judges Chamber program of study, I think that one there is going to be real tough to get into. A law office would be easier, okay, but still not so easy, unless you know somebody. Again, it's not like what you know, it's who you know. You're going to have to know a lawyer who's been a California lawyer for 5 years and who's going to be willing to take you on as a mentee for 4 years. It's a pretty good commitment of time and energy on behalf of that attorney, right? Who's already got 5 years of experience being an attorney, at least, right? Minimum. So for me, the idea was correspondence school, and that's what I chose. That's the one I selected. And they may have a list of the schools down here, and they have a list of correspondence schools right here. So you can look at, and you look at all the schools. It's not just, not just the ones that I went to. They have the ABA approved schools. They'll list all those for you. You can go look at their websites. And down here, a little bit lower, these are accredited by the state of California, but not accredited by the ABA. If you go to one of these schools, then you don't have to sit for the first year law students examination. If you do law office study or correspondence or online schools or judge, study, you're going to have to sit for this exam called the first year law students examination. And the news teams call that the baby bar. A lot of people call it the baby bar. It makes my skin crawl. It's got an 80% failure rate on that exam year after year, exam after exam. On average, 80% of the people who sit for this first year law students examination are going to fail it. In my estimation, we need to be 86% better than everybody taking the same exam that we are to have that shot at passing, just to give us a little bit of wiggle room in there. If we slide down here a little bit further, we can see unaccredited law schools. They can be fixed facilities, distance learning, or correspondence, all right? Meaning that you have to sit for the first year law students examination after your first year of study. I'll make another video on that later on. And then here's the correspondence schools down here. And I believe there's one more category here, and these are the online schools. And you might be familiar with Concord. You may have seen that name around here and there, okay? So there you have it. So those are the different programs that you have. And if you wanted to learn more about them, from the California Bar website, it's under admissions, then requirements, then education, and then we have legal education here, and then you can see these different ways. I'm going to put a link directly to this for anybody. Maybe you're in the news or something like that. Maybe you're interested in finding about these different opportunities or these different alternative programs for people to qualify to sit for the California Bar exam, okay? They are all legitimate. They are all good. There is nothing easy about the study of law, okay? I've been in litigation support since 1992 as a videographer. I did complete my Juris Doctorate degree from a correspondence school authorized to grant a Juris Doctorate degree by the State Bar of California. And I am prepping for currently the July 2019 California Bar exam. All right. I'll be making more videos about that experience later on. And I also did sit immediately upon graduation. I just qualified for the February 2018 exam that I tried to prep for, didn't get near where I wanted to be. I took the exam just to see if my prep process was along, my plan of attack was going along the right way. I did fail the exam, but I was pretty happy with my results, and it surprised me. So I took my results and I applied that to my prep program now, and hopefully I'll be doing a whole lot better in July 2019. Hang out later on for those videos after I return from that exam. All right. If I haven't already, because this video should be kind of evergreen. All right, unless California changes its rules. That's going to wrap it up for this one. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video. Drop a comment below. Let me know. If you have any questions or comments or anything, drop them in there. We'll address them as we can. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me succeed on the network, and I greatly appreciate it. And with that, until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.